Hi everyone, and welcome to the second week that you are unpacking yourself the book of Proverbs as we take a look at all these various miscellaneous proverbs, nuggets of wisdom, if you will, that are contained in this ancient, powerful book. You know, I'm hoping that the first week that you did that, the previous home group, that it was quite an interesting discussion, that you actually had different points of view and you were able to delve deep into how the book of Proverbs could apply to your life. In this session, I'm hoping that you would actually press a little bit harder and dig a little bit deeper beyond the surface. And I want to give you a few tips, if I could, as you take sort of the intermediate step into the book of Proverbs. So two things to remember. One, Proverbs in and of themselves, by definition, I guess, don't just have a surface meaning. You can't just read Proverbs and take it just literally. For example, an English proverb, not really the biblical proverb, an English proverb like, don't count your chickens before they hatch. It's not just talking about farming, right? It's not just like, oh, hey, don't count your chickens before they hatch. It's not just something that can be applied to only if you have chickens and you're trying to figure out how many chickens you got from eggs, right? It is about it could be applied to any area of life and not counting the result too soon before you've actually seen the whole process through to the end, right? That's why it says don't count your chickens before they hatch, because there's a lot of things that can happen before an egg hatches to become a chicken. And so you don't want to jump the gun too much. So that's the first thing, is when you read this proverb, you don't want to just do surface level. You want to dig a little bit deeper. What other areas can it be applied to? What other areas in your own life? It's written thousands of years ago, but it's still famous today. It's still read today because these are eternal principles. But the second thing that you need to sort of pick up from Proverbs is that, while the principle may be correct, so the principle that comes out from the proverb may be correct, wisdom is needed in its application to your life. So just because a proverb is there doesn't mean that every single time in your life, in every situation, you apply that proverb in exactly the way that it was intended, that it's written in there. No. You need wisdom to apply that principle, to know when to apply it, when not to apply it. And the most classic example of this, and it might be confusing to you, but it's in the Bible, and I think it's there to highlight the point that Proverbs requires wisdom, right? Just take this as an example. Proverbs 24, verse 4-5. It says this: do not answer a fool according to his stupidity. Otherwise, you too will be like him. Right. So if somebody's being a fool, well, don't stoop down to his level, because otherwise you're just going to be in that foolish discussion as well. And then in that same passage, the next line says, answer a fool according to his stupidity. Otherwise, he will consider himself wise. So you got like two proverbs. One says don't answer a fool, and then the next one says answer a fool. It literally contradicts itself. And so if you just take it at face value, if you don't use wisdom to apply it, you're gonna misunderstand the proverb. You're gonna go, oh my goodness, I don't even know what is happening. What you need to do is use wisdom, because what this proverb is trying to say is there are some instances where you have to answer a fool, and there are some instances where you don't answer a fool, and there are different benefits or consequences of doing that, and you need to pay attention so that when you're using wisdom in applying this wisdom proverb, it yields the fruit that wisdom has. So when do you do each? That's what you've got to ask as you're unpacking all the different proverbs that you're going to be doing today. I hope you have a really good discussion. These proverbs, they're a gold mine of wisdom. God bless.